It seems like one of the defining characteristics of VR-ready laptops is that they're big and they're heavy. They have to be to hold those huge graphics cards, right? Enter the P37, Gigabyte's smaller, lighter VR-ready laptop with the GTX 1070 inside. There's a few different versions of the P37, including a 15.6-inch model and the one we have here with the 17.3-inch display. Both models are also available in Full HD 1080 by 1920 or 4K UHD with a max resolution of 3840 by 2160. Options are always a good thing. This is the 17.6 4K version, weighing in at 6.17 pounds. It costs $2,400. The smaller model is a remarkable 5.29 pounds, making it the lightest GTX 1070 laptop on the market. The only laptop that comes close is Gigabyte's own Aorus brand X5. The X5 is a step up in construction and comes in at 5.5 pounds with the 1070. The next closest is a full pound heavier. Compared to Gigabyte's own P37, the P37 is just slightly smaller and lighter, though both have 17-inch screens and GTX 1070 cards. Speaking of packages, let's talk specs. The P37 is packing an i7 6700HQ CPU, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, and an M.2 512GB SSD for those lovely 2000 MB per second read speeds. One of the defining characteristics of the P37 is how unassuming it is. Nothing about the design of this laptop says gamer, and Gigabyte is clearly aiming for those who want to use it for work and play games on their off time. Or game at work. Don't worry, we won't judge. The simple black case is almost generic and doesn't really stand out in the sea of black laptops. The team was divided. Some liked the minimalistic look, others wanted a laptop that looks as crazy as Gigabyte's Extreme series graphics cards. The build quality is solid, and the hinges feel particularly sturdy. The lightweight makes it a great mobile VR system. Even the 6-pound model feels more portable than some of the competition. The 4K screen looks really nice, though high FPS gamers would probably prefer 1080 with high refresh rates than 4K. The keyboard, like the P57, is large and backlit with white LEDs. Like the P57, this laptop uses a swappable ODD HDD slot. We think optical drives should be killed, but Gigabyte continues to include it on almost all of their laptops. Interestingly, you could swap out the optical drive for an SSD cage. That means you have an optical disk drive when you want it, but you can easily replace it with a 2.5-inch SSD or HDD. This is great for doing backups or quickly expanding your storage without having to open the case. We highly recommend you swap out the ODD as soon as possible. Disks are going the way of the dinosaur, SSDs are not. As for the battery, like all high-end gaming laptops, you're going to want to keep your power supply and an outlet close by. Gigabyte claims that the P37 60-watt battery lasts up to 8 hours on a charge, but with normal use, we were seeing closer to 3 to 4 hours. Of course, for gaming, the 1070 will eat the battery just like every other laptop in existence. So the big downside of a laptop this slim is throttling. In our stress tests, we discovered the Gigabyte does throttle down the graphics to keep temps from going above 90. Meaning, for a hardcore competitive gamer running max performance all day, the P57 is a better choice than the P37. Interestingly, we were not able to get the similar Aorus X5 and X7 with the 1070 to throttle down. They stayed constant even during max performance. Since the P37 is an older style laptop, we're guessing the Aorus's newer design is able to handle the cooling demands of the new Pascal cards. Otherwise, the Gigabyte P37 put out some really impressive numbers. Overall, the P37 is a great all-around laptop, though not a perfect gaming laptop. That's why the P57 and Aorus line exist. We could easily recommend the P37 for someone who wants a professional-looking computer for 4K video editing and 3D design, but also wants to play occasional games or plug in their HTC Vive when they get home. Thanks for watching, guys, and check back soon for more reviews. Subscribe for updates, and we'll see you here next time.